Naboo became a crucial planet for many major events in the galaxy. Traditionally, the planet is peaceful, with the populace focusing on culture. The humans on the surface work beauty into everything they do. Their technology, architecture, art, music, and even politics. There's a rift between the humans and the water-dwelling Gungans native to the planet. The amphibious Gungans under the surface share many of the same ideals as the Naboo. Naboo is a mid-rim planet. Despite its proximity to the outer rim, it avoids many of the negative elements of those systems. Unlike the majority of planets in the galaxy, Naboo lacks a molten core. The core is comprised of complicated flooded caves populated by massive creatures. The water-dwelling Gungans didn't build their cities too close to the core to avoid these creatures. More adventurous Gungans, however, mapped trade routes through the core as a massive shortcut to get around the planet. The surface of the planet is picturesque. Rolling grassy hills, vast open plains filled with wildflowers, waterfalls, massive bodies of water, and swamps. To add to the natural beauty, the human inhabitants put care into their architecture. The structures are as beautiful as the planet itself. As dangerous as some of the larger aquatic creatures are, the surface creatures are peaceful and passive. As I mentioned, the Gungans are the original inhabitants of the planet. A reptilian species called the Elders invaded at one point. They created massive stone structures to their gods and warred with the Gungans. Deterred by the opposition they faced, the Elders would eventually abandon Naboo. Around 4000 BBY, humans from Grismalti found the planet and christened it Naboo, with a U, after one of their gods. Naboo became a vacation spot and hunting destination for the wealthy of the Mid-Rim. It would be a century before a permanent human settlement would start. The Gungans mostly avoided these human visitors. They'd go underwater and their civilization thrived in private. Grismalti fell into a civil war. A group of refugees fled to Naboo. They became aware of the Gungans, but the two peoples avoided each other. The early human settlements were farming communities. When the Gungans and humans couldn't avoid each other anymore, conflicts arose. Both parties would eventually agree on a shaky truce. The civilizations would have nothing to do with each other. The Gungan race were not a unified people. They consisted of smaller tribes. These tribes fought amongst each other. One mighty Gungan, Boss Gallo, unified the tribes. He'd strike deals with those who were open to it, and those who weren't, he would defeat in battle. He established Otogunga, a new capital city built on the ruins of the recent war. In the 800s BBY, the human inhabitants had graduated from farm communities to cities. They had their own infighting. A human general called Jaffin united the humans under a single ruler. Unbeknownst to Jaffin, his tactics were a parallel to the Gungans' own struggles. The general became king. His reign is called the Great Time of Peace. Jaffin brought the planet into the Galactic Republic. He founded Theed, the capital city, and had the royal palace constructed on the beautiful cliffs. It's unclear if Jaffin's the one who made Naboo a democracy, or if it happened over time. While Naboo kept the titles of king and queen, democratic elections were held for the citizens to choose their ruler. The unified humans encouraged art and creative expression in every citizen. The Naboo were also accomplished shipbuilders. Their love of art and beauty was clear in their manufacturing as well. Before the Clone Wars began, the Trade Federation invaded Naboo. The outside threat led to the Queen of Naboo meeting with the leader of the Gungans. She showed humility, and the two sides were able to bury their long-standing feud. A feud so old, either side would have to go back centuries to remember what had caused it originally. After the fall of Emperor Palpatine, Operation Cinder went into effect. Naboo was a target of a climate disruption array. This weapon replicated natural disasters with the intention of decimating the entire planet. The sitting Queen of Naboo reached out to the Rebel Alliance for help. A fleet, led by Rebel hero Lando Calrissian, arrived in time to save the planet. Jumping forward again, when the First Order attempted to control the Mid-Rim, Naboo was quick to act. Having learned from their recent history, they didn't allow the First Order to get their hooks in. Other planets and systems had the same idea, and the First Order was defeated. The gorgeous planet of Naboo has a rich history and participated in many galactic events. Let me know in the comments what you think about this type of coverage. I'd love to dive deep on all the relevant planets. Then watch this transmission next for more.